Okay, so we're live. So we'll see if
Yay.
if we get anybody here, because I posted this kind of last minute, but oh well.
Someone definitely will. I was gonna pull it up share it on my community page, but let me see because it should say
Yeah,
it's live.
I'm glad you were able to come because I was like, oh no, this is gonna be like nobody can
I
come.
know. Well, honestly, if Mel hadn't have said I can't come today, I wouldn't have even noticed. I thought it was tomorrow because I have something at 6 tomorrow. So I was like, oh no, I can't join, or I'll have to join late. And then Mel was like, I can't join today. And I'm like, what? Well, I'm just sitting here. It's today. But
yeah,
I've just had this week's just been nuts. So I don't even know. Like, I thought it was Sunday this morning when I woke up. I was gonna get ready for church. And I'm like, no, it's Saturday. That's tomorrow.
Don't you usually film like your weekly wrap ups Saturday too?
Yeah. So because I was laying in bed and being like, oh, I better get up. I gotta be on time for church. I'm like, no, you're not. I mean, you'll be real early. You'll be real early if you go.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just randomly, like after we got off, I'm like, I guess I'll just do it. You know, I didn't really know if I was gonna like be able to do it anytime during the week because it's just been, oops, I think I lost her. I think I lost Jen. Hopefully she'll be back. But just randomly decided to post this sprints here, kind of late notice. So I hope I see a couple people jumping on, but hopefully more people join. Let's see here. Hopefully Jen comes back. Here she comes. Hey.
So dumb. Oh my God. I was exiting out of the YouTube one, and I exited out of this one instead.
I did that one time. I was like, went to go look at like the comments or something one time, and then I hit back and I was like, oh
my gosh, I know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna take a picture of it, and then and then I was like, wait, she stopped talking to me. What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know if I think we only have a couple people on, so hopefully more people join, but whatever, at least we'll get some reading in.
Right. I know. I mean, I'm sitting here reading always anyway, so that's why I'm like,
yeah,
whatever.
Well, I had to like I clean my mom's house for her like every other week. And so like I was cleaning her house, so I started listening to that Secrets and Masks podfic today. But so I was listening to that whole time I was cleaning house, quite a few hours. I cleaned like her whole house. So it's like, and I think I'm like maybe 18% in. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be a longer one to get through. But
I'm still like, oh, I hope that you like it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Did you read that one, The Secrets and Masks? Oh, okay.
I DNF'd it.
Oh, you did?
But not because it was bad. So just, I'll tell you that. It was too dark for me at the time. Like,
is it darker than Manacled?
Yeah. In my opinion, it is. In my opinion, it is.
How far did you get through it?
I can probably tell you. Hold on.
You probably still have it on your Kindle.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't delete anything. Let me tell you a secret.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, I looked at my Kindle from last year when you did the readathon. I'm like, oh, I should read some of these that I got from last year. I never got to.
Secrets and Masks. Here we go. How far did I go? I went in 20% is how far I went in.
Yeah, so I'm almost there.
Yeah, which again, it wasn't because I don't want to tell you. It's not because it's not because of a specific thing. It was because it was dark and at the time of my brain, but it wasn't because one specific thing happened that was dark. It was just the general, like I wasn't in the mood for it right then. That's what it was. And also, well, I'll say this, like I really read the tags again. And there's a tag for something that I was like, what's this? And yeah. So anyway.
Oh no.
But lots of people love it. Mary loves that one. I know Rachel loves that one. Like, I love it. So
Yeah, I saw Barry do it because I was looking at fanfic things before this, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize she got into fanfic, you know?
Yeah.
And so I saw her talk about that one, and then since I found a podfic for it, it was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try and get that one. Ruth says I have this thing between us, but I'm not sure if I'm attacking that tonight. Watching football. Do you watch football, Jen? Do you follow? Yeah, I used to. Same. I used to with NFL, but I'm San Diego. So when the Chargers left for LA, I was very upset. So I just kind of like gave up. And those weren't exactly every Sunday. It was like anxiety, like my stomach hurt. I got like way too into football, and our team wasn't great. You know, we always lose by a field goal or something. So I'd always have an anxiety Sunday. So it's kind of actually nice. Like I'm not stressing out about that, but
I love that.
This thing between us is that do you know what fanfic that one is?
Yeah, that's the one I read. That was one of my favorite books last month. So, yep.
That's that really long one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know. That sounds really good. I want to do it, but I'm like, that's going to be a lot to try.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was, but it was really good. So it didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It was just, this happens all the time when it's my nighttime read. Like my nighttime reads, I either finish the whole thing in one go, or it takes me 10 days to read it because I keep falling asleep. Like there's no in between for me. But yeah, so that's how that is for me. And that was one that to get started with it took me a while. And then I got to a certain point where I was like, I'm finishing this because this is really good. So
that's good. Yeah.
But
are you still reading the other one right now that you were reading yesterday?
Yes, I read like 300 pages of it yesterday, and I'm still 65%. So
yeah, they definitely do some weird spacing on that one. It's like that many pages.
Oh my gosh, it's so annoying, but it's okay. It's also like it's a good one to keep plugging away at.
Yeah.
So I was gonna listen to The Striker because I'm in the middle of that and really liking it. But I also am like, well, if I don't make progress with this on sprints, I have so many other books to read too. So I'm like, well, I'll just let sprints be for this book and then I'll go back.
Yeah, but you probably have some arcs to get to.
Well, I do, but it's also I have my other books to get to. Like I want to read something for me. And if I only am reading fan fiction this week, then I have a bunch of I have arcs due on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more so like it was gonna be my free time because I was caught up on almost everything.
Yeah, like last month I put way too much on my TBR where it was like a whole page I didn't get to. And it was like I had so much more arcs and ALCs than I thought that like I didn't get to read the stuff I wanted to read like till the very end of the month. And so I was like frustrated. I felt like, especially after the romance readathon, like I did really good for me. I don't really read as much as you but I got 40 books. But then I was like kind of crashed after after that and then it was like it was like, and they all came out at the same time. So it was like one after the other. And I'm like, I just want to read one of these other books that's for me. And so
yeah,
like I basically tried not to request barely any arcs for this month because of the fanfic, because I was like, I want to make sure I actually, go to it. But have you read Braving the Storm yet? Because I still need to read. Okay. I still have to read that one. And then I think I have like another arc or whatever, but
my color is doing something weird. I'll come up close. Well, it's turning yellow, and I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like flashing colors. It keeps adjusting or whatever.
I don't know what's happening. Maybe if I pick a direction, I don't know. I don't like it. So I don't know what's happening here. Like literally, I'm like, what are you doing, camera? I don't know. So anyway, yeah, no, I read Braving the Storm and I finished the Chris of Broadbent. I just wrote those reviews today. So that's what I was working on actually as my post for those. But yeah, there's so many others to get to that I like want to read because also I filmed that Mafia video And there's like 4 different mafias in there that I want to read. And I was like, I just want to be able to read what I want.
Yeah. Like, I just want to be able to just read whatever. I had like a bunch of like, I'm really bad at finishing series. I like bounce between so many series. And so I've been wanting to get back to the Lily Main Monstrous series. Like I think I need to read Moth and then, what was the one after that?
Sarah.
Yeah, so those are the 2 that I like wanted to read last month and I still hadn't gotten to. And I'm like, no, I'm putting them on this month because I really want to read some of those and finish out that series because I loved Soul Eater so much. But
yeah, those are some good ones.
Yeah, I finished the Destiel that I was reading last night and it was cute. It was interesting. It was like Castiel went back in time to when like Dean was like 23 or whatever. And so that was interesting, but it was pretty quick. So I think I'm going to go to this for this one. I think I'm going to do the Potion Masters or Makers, or wait, is it Masters? The Potion Masters Baby.
Okay.
So I figured, because I want to try Snape one that I haven't tried yet.
Yeah. That's a good one. Georgie all along?
Oh. Georgie all along? Not sure what that is.
Kate Claiborne. I've never read her.
Me neither.
Yeah. I think she's a trad pub author, if I remember. Nice.
Yeah, I have like next month I'm trying to like put together a list because I want to read more fantasy. And so but like my big goal with this year was to finally finish ACOTAR. So like next month I have to like finish it. I just have to read that like little novella one and then Nesta's, which I'm really excited for Nesta's because she's like, I know a lot of people don't like her, but I like connect to her character so much. Like
Kate Claiborne, Lily, she wrote that like love lettering, right? I just had a flash of remembering. Did she write love lettering? That was a really cute book. I read that. Sorry, I was like, Kate
Love lettering?
Yeah, love lettering. It was one that Crystal really liked it. I actually read it for a vlog where I read Crystal's favorite books.
Oh, cool.
But what was I going to say? I haven't like told everyone this yet, but I'm pretty sure for December this year, I'm not going to be rereading all my favorites this time. Except the ones that people want like annotated.
Yeah.
Because I only have 11.
That's crazy.
I know. I only gave 11 books 6 stars. And 3 of them are the Pam Godwin, which I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I am still going to annotate the 3rd one for myself, but that's like for me.
But you've already read those.
Yeah, I've read the first one 4 times. And I read the second one twice and the last one once. So
I know now that those audios are coming out, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna and those are good ones to use the credit on because I saw like when I posted it was 30% off, but it was like 50 something to start. So I was like, that's like what I save my credits for. Is those like more expensive ones. But
right. And then but otherwise I was looking at it and it's 2 Elsie Silvers, 2 Julia Wolfs, 3 Pam Godwin, Sophie Lark, and Unsteady, and that's it. So I was like, oh, wow, I was a lot pickier this year.
I always think that's a cool idea that you do that, but I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to reread because I would want it like near the end of the year. You still want to get to books, you know, but like that's like a big commitment to have to like reread all of those.
I mean, it definitely was the year that I had 30 of them.
Oh my gosh.
But this year it's like I'll probably reread a lot of them, but a few of them I already have reread. And so whichever ones people want annotated, because that's what I do, is people pick my favorites. I will, but otherwise I'm like, I want to actually read what I want. And I still have 15 arcs to do in December. So I'm like, I don't want to read those and have to reread everything because I'm pretty sure I already know which one's my favorite. So I'm not quite as confused as in previous years where I had some really big contenders all together.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. I think it's cool how you do that, like, because I started doing 6 stars from seeing you do 6 stars, because I give a lot of 5 stars too. Like my mom's like, because I said, oh, this is a good book. I told my mom it's like a 4 star. She's like, that's bad. You give so many things 5. And I'm like, no, four is like a solid book. Like, but I mean, I'm not like super picky where you see some people really be, pretty picky or hard on books. I don't think I'm like that, but like I liked how the 6 star, how you did like the rating near the then to see if like the book holds up. Cause sometimes I go, is this just me in the moment or is this really like
No, and I mean I still like feel that, so that I'll keep on them. And the ones that I'm unsure of are the ones I'm gonna probably reread. But it's also like the point of that, was to find my favorite, but it also was to help myself out. And I also used to be able to reread more too. So it was fun.
Yeah.
But now with so much of rereading being like my job, it's not as big of a treat. It's not as big of a treat in December. It's more of a chore, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a chore when I reread, but when I have to do it all in December, which is arbitrary anyway, like I decided to do that.
Yeah.
So when I decide to do that, and then I'm also rereading books every single month usually. So before it was like to get myself to slow down and reread my favorites, it was necessary. But yeah. So I'm probably not doing that, but
well, because like with the amount of books you have to read just for us patrons, it's like that's like a full-time job right there, getting all those done. So
yep.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start a sprint? I don't have the timer thing because I have to do it from my phone. So I'll probably just put it like, do you want to just put back at 5? So that's like about 40.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just put a banner up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what Crystal does on hers. So
yeah, no, I was like, oh, I can't ever do these because I can't do the timer. And then they were like, you don't need to do that. I was like, oh, I guess not. Okay, so I guess 5. It's 5 my time, but maybe that. I guess that's fine.
You can just put the top of the hour too, because
okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
let me edit that.
Whatever you want.
I'll just put that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started with this sprint. We only have like a few people on here, but it's fine. Okay. I'm going to get started and I'll see you guys. Hey.
Hi.
How did it go?
Oh, just fine. Just fine. It's annoying. I have to put it in direct light, and now it's not doing that anymore. So I'm like, well, too bad. I hate that. Like, I couldn't watch it go yellow orange like that. So I was like, whatever.
It was like a little light show. It kept like flickering going on. I had no idea. I just started this one, that it was going to be like a mix up with like that they didn't. I thought it was going to be like an accidental pregnancy, but like that it was a mix up with their stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, that's an interesting, start.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Severus isn't really. I mean, I'm not saying they don't exist, but Severus isn't really one. When she's paired with him, there's not really one night stands happening in that pairing.
Yeah,
that's a pairing with like when she's with a Weasley or with like Sirius. That's not really a Snape one. With Snape, they're either like forced to marry situation, or she's a professor, he's a professor, or usually there are a lot of Voldemort AUs. Like those are kind of the ones where you get Severus as a pairing. Just that's kind of how those ones go. I mean, I haven't read one that was like an accidental pregnancy for that. Again, I'm sure they exist because
there's
any type of fantasy exists, but you'll tell the more you read like which type of tropes that pairing like leans into, right? Depending on who it is. So yeah. No, I mean, mine's going good. It's long. This Draco is so chaotic. He's really hard to explain.
Is Hermione finally on board though? Because when you were saying it was like 50%, I'm like, man, she needs to get.
No. Well, it's like it's a weird thing because she's a very angry Hermione, and he's a very angry and horny Draco, like he is. But I mean, it's not like that's all this book is. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But also, he just is like, the man is so much craving love. And she might be willing to sleep with him now. Like they are having like sex now.
Yeah.
But he's kind of positioned it as like, well, we should be getting something good out of this at least. So she's really in a self-hatred phase too, because she likes sleeping with him and wishes that she didn't. So I mean, I like her. She's very angry Hermione though, and because it's so long, it starts to be like, okay, girl, like give this dude a break already.
Yeah,
give him a break already. But he's also a little shit, so it's like it's hard because he's a brat, and he also has a lot going on. So it's so interesting. This one I haven't read a Draco quite like this before. Excuse me, there it goes. So it's interesting, but I'm at 70% now. Still 400 pages to go. So
oh my gosh.
But
yeah, I think this one will be pretty quick because I just started and it's like at 17%. So I think it's a pretty quick one.
Oh yeah. No, I have a physical one of that, right? It's only like 300 pages, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Mm-hmm. How's everybody else's reading going? If you want to put in the comments. I don't know. I think the next one I might want to read is the Lucius and Ginny one. Because that's the other one. Like, because I really want to try and do some more. Like, I actually, not more, actually do a Lucius one. Because I haven't read a Lucius one yet.
Yeah. He's great.
And that Pansy Neville one sounded interesting too, that she was talking about yesterday. I was like, oh, that's a cool pairing. I haven't read anything like that.
Yeah, I definitely. Sorry, can't help it. It's that time of night for me.
Is it getting late for you?
Well, it's not even. It's dark. That's what does it.
And now I can't handle this time change. Like I get off at 5 and it's like dark when I leave the office, and there's nothing worse than like leaving an office where you've been in an office all day, and then it's like an hour drive home, and I'm home and it's like dark. I'm like, And my house doesn't have like, this is an old like house. It used to be my grandma's house. And it's like, they had like no lights in here. So like, you know, the day when we were doing our 3-hour Outlander thing, like it started to get super dark where I only really have like my ring lights to kind of hit me here. So it's like already starting to get really dark. And it's, you know, 5 here. So
yeah.
I hate the time change.
I end up yawning, but no, I've read some with, I've read one where it's Pansy and Harry. I've read like a Pansy and Ron, like they're all side character ones, right?
Yeah.
I read Canville and Theo and her and like I love when Pansy is like friends with Hermione though. I love that. Because they're so different. So I really like those types of things. I love ones where like Hermione is friends with the Slytherins through Draco. Like I love that. So, yeah, those are ones I like. But oftentimes, like Pansy is an ex-girlfriend too. So sometimes she's so. But yeah. Ooh. My parents the waiting and off to a good start. Yeah, nice.
That's good.
Yeah, my concentration this week has been shit. So I haven't finished a book like the last 2 days because I just keep adding books to my stack because if one isn't working, I'm like shoving another one in there.
I know, like, I was like, do I even want to do like a weekly wrap up? Because I just feel like I don't even have enough to go. I'm like, maybe I could just put the vlog because I vlogged it when I participated last year. So I was like, maybe I'll just do a vlog and see how it goes. I haven't been very productive with my vlog. I'm like, oh yeah, I hadn't even checked in on the Supernatural one I read or anything. So I don't know. I'm like, and like this week at work, like, you know, I'm lucky I work, in like an office cubicle environment and I'm like a lead. So like I get to listen to audiobooks like all day. It's kind of why I stay at that job instead of because I'm comfortable being able to like listen to audiobooks all day. And I just didn't even like for a couple days I meant to start that Secrets and Masks and I just didn't want to. I was like, and I just was like listening to my podcast, like my other podcast funny show, you know, I'm like, okay, like I basically didn't listen to any audiobooks that I planned. So
I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird too, because I'll go through phases. I mean, I'm getting started on making some like Christmas presents and stuff though. And that's when I get through so many audiobooks in November and December because I'll be doing those while I do stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Because I have a lot of great audiobooks, not just ALCs. Like I have books that have like built up that I need to get through. Like I have some that I've purchased throughout the year and I just haven't gotten to them. Yeah. Like The Moon, I have like When the Moon Hatched. I have that audiobook super long. I still have a bunch of historicals I checked out from like Audible Plus and haven't listened to those. So yeah, it's just tough. It's just tough. So
I know I had like a bunch, like I think most of my page that I didn't even get to last month was like all audiobooks because I had a bunch that I'd like been buying on Audible. And then like, because there'd be like all these good sales going on. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy that instead of using a credit on that. And then like, you know, I've been like really enjoying the Audible Plus catalog more, you know, like they've had some good options. But yeah, so and I was really excited because I just got The Wraith King in the mail. So I'm so excited. So I'm planning on reading that for sure like next month. But I was so excited when I won that because I'm like, oh, I never win these like giveaway things. So I was like, what? So it was really cool.
I was really happy too because I was like, that worked out well.
Yeah. But and I wanted that book so bad. So
yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like I'm debating, do I go into another fanfic or do I maybe take a break, read one of my arcs? And then I was debating because I saw an ALC sign up for like A.L. Jackson, but it's like 4 books in one, I think, audiobook. And I'm like, but it said releasing the 12th. I'm like, that's pretty soon. Wouldn't I? I know they don't make you like do your have it done right away, but they usually like it on the release day or whatever,
Well, they give you 3 weeks for those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You always get 3 weeks with them. Yeah. They won't even send you the form until a ways in. I mean, you can always go to their website to get it, but because there'll be times where I'm done and ready to turn it in, and they didn't used to have the audiobooks on their website, right? You had to go through the Facebook, and they wouldn't even send out the thing until people for sure had time. So
so I might sign up for that, because I'm trying to. I didn't love my first A.L. Jackson, but I really liked the last one. That was her most recent release with like the like XMC kind of thing. And so I kind of want to try more, and I like the audiobooks more, kind of like what you said, than reading it. So, and it's been kind of cool doing ALCs to find like different authors. Like, I really want to be able to, I think I tried to sign up for the wait list for the one that you do, the what's it called?
Yeah, Must Love Audio.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to get on that, because I basically get most all mine from like Valentine PR ones. But
yeah, they get some good ones for sure. Like right now we're getting a bunch of Mafia ones because Eva Winters is getting all of her backlist done. So that was like the Devious Kingpin that I just read. I have the next one of the audio, and then one of her backlist titles that I read actually 3 years ago. And then they just sent us another one for another series that's doing. So like all of her are going to be on there.
I was bummed because I saw Jagger Cole had like the audiobook come out, and I'm like, where was the sign up for this DLC? I wanted to finally get I mean, I already read the book, but I'm like,
well, his deal is with Podium though for his books.
Oh.
Podium doesn't really do the ALCs at all.
Yeah, I wish he would do ALCs for those, because when I first saw him say he was going to finally have audiobooks, I was like, oh, cool, finally. Like,
yeah, those are the same people that are doing Pam's. Like, I didn't get an ALC for Ice and Echoes. I did for the first one because I like asked for it. Because I was like, please let me do it. And so but I didn't want to beg for the other ones. I was like, if she remembers me, then I will, but I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, when people get through Podium, like Podium, it's weird too, because sometimes they will, but I feel like the authors have to kind of push it. Like if they get it through there, they have to kind of push to get them, and not everybody wants to put they don't care. Because I think some authors don't, I don't know. It's not that she doesn't get it. I mean, every one of Pam's books is on Audible now. It's not that she doesn't.
Yeah.
I just mean she doesn't like push to have them simultaneous. Like, some authors do.
Kind of like Brooke Montgomery. So when she had that sign up, I signed up, but I was like, oh, I want to be on the ALC team. So then when I signed up for that most recent book, the ARC, I got the ALC team. So she was like, oh, I saw you signed up for the ARC, but do you want the ARC or the ALC? But I still want the ALC. So I would only get one, basically.
Yeah.
And so I didn't read that one yet. But I was like, oh, how long does it take? I was thinking, oh, maybe they'll come out. And she's like, oh, it's going to be like a couple months. It's not like immediate.
Yeah. That's why I ended up. I was kind of bummed because I wanted the ALC team, but I picked a different team. And then like for her greatest joy or whatever, like didn't pick me for that arc. So I don't know how few she had or whatever, because I reviewed and turned in that one. And she's like, I'm going to pick everyone. And I'm like, okay. I mean, that's fine. That's a book to cross off. But no, her like reasoning, because this is the thing too, is that either depending on where it is, authors like pay for how many arcs they're going to have when they use certain things. Or if it's done with a group, then they assign how many you get. Or if you're using Book Funnel, like I believe there's packages that you buy is how you get the code. Like that's why they say, like, don't sign up with 2, because it's a code that gets assigned. So with Must Love Audio, the authors who use like Book Funnel, like they get a certain amount for those, because you're like paying for the codes kind of thing. So you get a package to get for those. And so the way that I imagine that Brooke is doing it, why she said you can't have both, is she wants to maximize who's getting her book. And
I think it makes sense, Jen, because I didn't get the first one, but then I just got this one. So I was like, because when she had that sign up, oh, I'm
Yes.
re-releasing those. I was like, cool. And then I was like, oh, I guess I didn't sign up fast enough. I didn't get it. And then I got this one, but I was like, but I didn't get the first one. So
Yes.
I was confused. Maybe she's spreading it out a little bit again across everybody.
Right. So that's what I think is happening. So, and that's why too, I was like, I have too many that I need to read. And I don't really care about our backlist ones as much as the upcoming ones anyway. But yeah, I know that that's how it goes for some authors, especially when they're producing them themselves, right? Like some of the authors working with Must Love Audio, they're like paying Must Love Audio to handle everything. And so then they're the ones that have the connection with Book Funnel, right? Like they're the one paying the subscription for that, whatever. And the authors are pairing with them. So yeah, an author like Brooke, who she's running her team for those, she wants as many people to have them as they can, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why you have to choose. That's the way she's doing it. It's like all the people who get the ebook, then she doesn't want them to get an audiobook because it would be doubling up on those. Whereas and also this is a final thing. And then I also think that some authors with their own teams are testing people to see who's reset, because a lot of things are being resold to people. Like being resold. So I think, but when you split it up between each book, who's getting what, it's also easier to, funnel in on people who need to be kicked off of your list because they're stealing. So that's what I think. It's a mix of everything. But yeah, but that makes sense too for you to say you didn't get the first one. Then I feel like too, because she went the other way where I didn't get the next one, which is fine. So
so I was surprised when I got the second one. I was like, oh, I didn't even think I made it, or I wasn't gonna get either of them. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I hope I don't have to read that one to be but I don't think you do. But I've literally signed up for so many ALCs where it's like the 5th book of the series or something. And I've done it and it's been fine. But I never read Laura Pavlov till I signed up for an ALC, so that's what's kind of cool about those is it's actually getting me to read different authors than I haven't really read before. But oh God. Well, do you want to do another sprint? Okay, so we'll just do top of the hour again.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, let me do that. My freaking phone. Okay. Hey.
Hi.
I'm really liking this. I'm loving this Snape.
I know. It's a good one.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yep. He's pretty great.
Yeah, they just decided he's going to court her, because she's in her horny months. I was like, I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one. They're finally admitting some stuff to each other now. So.
Thank God, finally.
I know. We're at a point where they have a possibility that they could get their marriage overturned, and they're at that point where they both are like, gotta admit that they don't want that.
Yeah.
Or else they'll have to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always love that point. But
yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you make Christmas gifts for everybody? Because I know you do those cross stitch and stuff.
I am making gifts this year. Yeah, I have the last 2 years, but I don't cross stitch gifts for people. Except for, I did that for Patreon one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was because I already made like 15 of them. So I just made a couple more as gift, and I was like, oh, good. Then I have a reason I can make more.
Mm-hmm.
I literally didn't have room for them all around my house. But now that I've been working on like the bigger ones, it's more like something to keep my hands busy, because otherwise my mind spins too much. I gotta have something to like focus on while
That's cool. I don't even know how to do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm like always, think it's interesting. Yeah. Like I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to do any of that.
Well, cross stitching is literally like doing a paint by number.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you get one like mine where it's printed onto the thing, right?
Yeah.
You'll literally just put, I'm not an artist, but I could do a paint by number by home.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
So it's a good starting point.
Right. And that's literally what I did. I'd done a cross stitch when I was a kid. I had some fun ones, but I literally bought the kits that are for like 12-year-olds because they have a cute little kit that has everything you need in it for like $5 at Hobby Lobby. And I was like, oh, this would be fun. So
that's cool.
They include everything you need. You don't have to have any skill or have any like big thing. And then, even the ones where you have to count it yourself, like once you get started, it's literally doing a paint by number. That's what you're doing. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But these ones, you don't even have to count. Like when you do where you fill in, like you do have to count your stitches. But with this one, I don't even have to do anything. Like just have the thread and fill it in. So yeah, it's just a relaxing thing. I've always needed to do something. I've crocheted before, I've knitted before, but I get bored with stuff eventually. Like I'm kind of bored with sewing now already. And I think I'll probably like close my Etsy next year just because number one, it's like not selling as much anymore. And number two, I'm not as interested in it anymore. So
yeah,
we'll probably close the Etsy and just make stuff for patrons and for my family. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I think it's cool being creative. I'm not really good at being creative. So with my hands and doing things. So
yeah. Well, not everyone needs to though. Like our brains just work different. Like I used to get in trouble in class because I would doodle. And that's literally a form of like learning because I listen better when I'm doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you that that's not true. And I'm like, well, I'm telling you that I pay more attention in math class if I'm drawing little pictures of things.
Yeah.
So, that's just how it is for me.
Definitely say that.
Yeah. And it's not and when you learn a craft like this, you don't have to use the like thinking part of your brain really when you're doing one of these, because my hands can be doing it. And look, I'm still talking to you and my hands are doing it. It's like, it doesn't take both things. So
Yeah, because I noticed you do that a lot, like, and then like listen to audiobooks or whatever for like sprints. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, it's a good idea to keep your hands busy and be able to listen to an audiobook. I was like doing puzzles for a while where I was like starting to do jigsaw puzzles while I listened to audiobooks.
Yep. I did that last winter. That was fun.
I stopped out of nowhere. I just was doing it for a while back to back. And then I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, my back was hurting because I would do it like at my table, like, and just like leaning over. And I'm like, okay, I need to find like a better way to do this because I'm getting old.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, well, do you want to end it here? Because I got to make dinner too.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jen, because it was going to be me. So I appreciate it.
I was happy that I could. This was good.
All right. Well, I'll see. Well, I'll see you on the next sprint. Do you know when you're doing the next one?
I do not. I'm going to do one this week, but I'll share it with people, and then I'm going to try to do a wrap-up show next weekend, but we'll see.
So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks to everybody for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.